My identity doesn't matter, but you may know me as Revenant. It's the only name I'll give to protect my identity. 24 years ago today, Kurt Cobain was found dead in his residence. He was discovered by an electrician in the greenhouse, where, funny enough, he was there to install an alarm system that was put in as an emergency order by Courtney Love just days before his discovery. Now, Kurt Cobain was found, and they concluded that his cause of death was self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, suicide. Toxicology also found that Kurt Cobain's blood morphine levels was 1.52 milligrams per litre of blood. This is the equivalent of injecting over 200 milligrams of heroin into the bloodstream. Now, Kurt Cobain would not have been able to inject this much heroin into him, as he would have passed out and been incapacitated before he reached this heroin threshold of 200 milligrams plus. Now, he may have been a hardcore heroin addict. Besides that, 200 milligrams of heroin is enough to kill 3 people, and it's also enough to kill a hardcore heroin addict. Now, with this much heroin inside Kurt Cobain's system, Kurt Cobain would not have been able to be conscious, and he also would not have been able to pull the trigger. Now, somehow the trigger was pulled, but the gunshot shell was found to the left of Kurt Cobain's body, despite the shotgun shell ejection chamber being on the right-hand side of the gun. The gun was found upside down in his hands, and he was in a death grip. Now, this is known as a cadaveric spasm. So his hands were tense before death, his hands were tense after death, so the gun could have no way spun round upside down from an upright position, because shotguns don't do that, or any gun does that, and plus also, if this did happen, it would have left Kurt Cobain's left wrist in an anatomically impossible position. Now, the suicide note is not really a suicide note. It talks about how he doesn't like making music anymore, his possible retirement from music, and how it doesn't feel the same when he performs live compared to other musicians. The note was then signed, but underneath this signature, it said something along the lines of, "Courtney and Francis Bean would be better off without me. I love you, I love you." Now, this handwriting is different compared to the rest of the note, but it's still similar, but it's still out of place. Now, not long after his death, Courtney Love's attorney found a backpack left by Courtney Love. Inside, it had a handwriting practice sheet. Now, this all speaks for itself. This shows that Courtney Love must have been practicing her handwriting to imitate Kurt Cobain's to make the notes look like a suicide note. So, this opens up questions to whether this was a suicide at all, and maybe this was a possible homicide. A few years on, there was an interview by a man who claimed to know the killer of Kurt Cobain, and also stated that Courtney Love offered him 50 grand, in his own words, to blow his fucking brains out. Now, he also mentioned another name, which was supposedly the killer's name. Now, not long after this interview, he was found dead on railway tracks. Very suspicious. Now, my conclusion, I think Courtney Love knew about her husband's death before anyone else did, and it was most likely homicide.